Hello, everyone. Jesse Webb, TradersPro. Market conditions still bullish in this bull market. I'm just going to jump right here to this momentum indicator, and we'll look at that currently to get started. Working our way back up to that upper extreme range, you can see it just had this support area around that 50% range and has a spike back up to about 145. So we're working our way back up towards this upper extreme range on momentum. Breadth working its way back up into this momentum zone here, and that is that's a good thing. Some additional strength. You can see it also has found some support, starting to move back up, a little bit more participation overall in this rally. Sentiment hasn't moved much, still towards the upper end of that range as would be expected. Typically what we want to see is when we get a 3 or 4 days down or some aggressive selling, we'll see this start to move back this other direction down this way. So this is an extreme indicator that there is a lot of complacency in the market, but we already knew that after this long rally that we've had. Buy-sell ratio, slightly positive right here. We're sitting at 1.23. So again, that's just confirmation of this current breadth that we're sitting in. Not a lot of participation, but relatively flat, kind of that tug of war with a slight bullish bias right here at these levels. If we take a look at S&P 500, and see where we're at, a little bit of a, kind of a topping type day, just a real small reversal type day, but not a whole lot. And support level sitting right here at 502 on SPY, also right around that 490 range, and then another that 236 at 486. So several support areas here for S&P 500 that we'll want to watch this week and see if we continue to hold those ranges. Let's look at sectors, see if we saw anything move in the sectors this last week. Everything's been looking quite strong. We saw energy reversal, which is now back into full swing, and utilities were lower. Real estate also was lower. Telecommunications not finding any support right here. Real estate, that actually was an interesting chart pattern. If we pull that in, you can see that pullback, that retracement right here at that 382 support area. It's stuck in this zone right here, right now, that $88 range, and we could see a breakout here on IYR, which is that real estate fund. Along with that, we have seen yesterday, or Friday, we saw interest rates finding a little bit of support right here. I should say bonds. This is the bond chart, TLT. So as it's finding support and moving higher, interest rates are moving lower. So if we see interest rates start to move lower, the market may like that. Again, we're still dealing with interest rates and inflation at the Fed level, so there's still going to be talking points around that. So interesting move here in bonds and real estate. Let's see what some of the commodities are doing with oil primarily and gold. Are the ones we've been looking at primarily. Let's start out with gold. It's right here on top. Some nice support, and if we pull in that perspective with the actual signals, we haven't quite moved to that upper bullish trend quite yet, but you can see it's finding some support right here at this 183 range, which ends up being about $1,830 per ounce on gold, roughly. It's not exact, but that's GLD, which is the ETF for gold. Interesting. Typically, one of the reasons we look at it is gold is typically a flight to safety. So if there is issues in equities, and people will move money over into bonds or over into gold or something along those lines. So we could see that in kind of an opposite correlation with the market if gold continues to move higher. Oil, potentially the same thing right here, resistance right here, and this support range. It's working on this fledgling new uptrend. Not a lot of confirmation yet. Lots of resistance at that 73.5 range on USO. Let's look at a few muscle stocks for this morning. Continuing to see bio names. NNBR, which is a metal fabrication stock, looks good right here in this upper momentum zone. Lots of support, 4, 5, 6 days of support right here at that 450 range. Confirmation bar moving back up into that momentum zone, and also IDYA, medical biotech, similar type pattern, support, upper momentum zone. Lots of early volume here in this trend, and we'll see if we get any follow through on that. Continue to go through that list of names, some nice stocks to look at today. That'll do it for today's update. Everyone have a fantastic day today.